Time to tell my story. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Datboikellzzz. I'm back with another banger, and I want to get down and just tell y'all the true story, right? The real backstory on why I'm able to film all these videos and what I do and how I got here, right? So this video is for people who are in the military, getting out the military, going through a MEB board, everything like that, right? So I'm gonna be using my phone just to pull up some notes that I had from when I was doing this and how it kind of changed a little bit, just a little bit, you know, nothing crazy. As y'all may know, I'm Datboikellzzz. Like, subscribe to the video if you like this type of content. In the military, I was Nicholas Kelly, Staff Sergeant Kelly. 2021 really was where everything changed, right? That's why I got offered a thing called the MEB program. MEB stands for Medical Evaluation Board. Yeah. So basically, I blew out my knee. I tore my ACL, PCL, LCL, and my meniscus. From running, from all the jumping, from like, not airborne or nothing like that, but like just a lot of random stuff. A lot of random stuff, especially being in Fort Hood, Korea, Afghanistan, all types of things, right? So when I got injured, my knee was like popping a lot, and I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. And I had it since I was in Afghanistan, but when I got to Baumholder, Germany, it got really worse, I'm gonna say. And I noticed it when I took a PT test, and it was like I had failed. I'm sorry to say that I failed it, and I was in pain, this and that, and I went to go get checked. And I went to law school. I forgot the surgeon's name. He was like, yo, you have no tissue back there. You tore a lot of things. And I was like, what? So he was like, yeah, we need to have a surgery on you. So I ended up going to have this thing called the full knee reconstruction, or some people say get another knee, basically. So I do that. I'm out for a year. I get big. I have to recover it. It was like, you might not be able to walk. A lot of people who have it, they have a hard time being able to go back to run and all this other stuff, or even to walk for a long distance, right? I was blessed. I want to thank the man upstairs first. I was blessed enough to be able to still be able to walk and all this other stuff, right? However, it snowed one time, and after I took my PT test and everything like that, we were doing a little run and slipped. Everything just popped back out. I didn't have to have surgery at that time, but I went back to the surgeon. The surgeon was like, hey, look, your knee is so messed up, right, that we can either give you steroids for the rest of your military career, and at the time I was only at like 9 years, or we can give you a MEB. And like I said, MEB is for Medical Evaluation Board. So I contemplated it. I sort of talked to my ex-wife at the time about it, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to. At the time I was having, my daughter's gonna be born soon, so it was like, do I really want to not be able to play with her when she gets older, how she is right now, you know, chase after her, you know how kids be, right? So I decided to get them MEB, right? So I did the MEB. The MEB is a long process. I think it's quicker now or whatever than when I did it in 2021, but this is what the process looks like, right? MEB, you go into a thing called the IDES program. IDES is the Integrated Disability Evaluation System. It just basically brings the two sides together, Department of Defense and the Department of Defense and the Department of Veterans Affairs. They have two different purposes, but they work together. Basically, you're gonna get a 3 on your profile, and a 3 initiates the MEB. So once that happens, you're not supposed to do no PT, you're not supposed to do nothing, right? It took me about what, a month or so, and I get this random call. And it's like, hey, this is Sergeant Kelly. And I'm like, yeah, show up here at this time to go over your briefing. All right, whatever's cool. So I pull up, and it's like 10, 15 other people in there, and we all in the same thing, but we're all there for the same thing, but we all got different reasons why we're there. I can remember specifically, I had another African American. He was having sort of the same thing. Another person was having PTSD. A woman had a hip problem, you know, all types of things, right? So they go through it. They tell us to brief. Basically, they said like, no more PT. You show up the formation in uniform. You're gonna get fill out this paperwork. Make sure you check your email regularly. Make sure you use an email that you use regularly. Blah 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 blah. And you need to start doing at the time it was SFL tap and tap, whatever. When I went through it was tap or transition assistance program, whatever crap was called, right? Basically where you got to get all these classes and you try to figure out what you want to do, because transition out of the military is not as easy as what people think it is. You know, it's not just like, oh, I'm out the military, let me go get me a good paying job. You know, and it's not like that, because in the real world you compete with other people who have degrees and all this other stuff like that. I'm just being honest with you. Some jobs you can get out the military and you can just instantly go into something paying good, like intelligence, cybersecurity, and many other things. But a lot of jobs, they got to figure out how to translate your stuff to civilian talk. Anyway, they're gonna say you're gonna get assigned a PEBLO. Your PEBLO is a physical evaluation board liaison officer. Basically, everything that you do, you gotta tell your PEBLO. Your PEBLO is the one that's gonna track your MEB status, your how much time you got left, and everything like that. Right. So my PEBLO, I think her name was like Tasha or Tiffany, something like that. Real great person in Vilsack. Real great. She was basically telling me like the pros and the cons and how it's gonna go and what it's gonna look like in my timeline. At the time, she said it was gonna probably take 6 months to 9 months. Mine took like a year. So your PEBLO is gonna tell you that you're gonna do a series of things. You're gonna do your what's it called? CMP exams, which is compensation and pension examination. Basically, it's an examination for whatever you trying to claim, right? So you go in there and you're gonna fill out a form, and it's gonna do from head to toe. The key tip to this is make sure you do head to toe. Even if you didn't even go get seen for it, or you got seen for it one time, just put it on there. And there's gonna be some stuff pre-filled already on there that you might have because you went to the sick call, you went to the doctor's for, what like that. Like I think I had like eye test or whatever like that, and that eye test was like BS. I'm not gonna lie to you. But you're gonna do the CMP exams. When they do the range of motion, they're gonna emphasize to you that if you feel pain, say ow, or don't try to be super trooper and go through it all. You know what I'm saying? After that, you're gonna get a NARSUM, which is a narrative summary. It's a medical summary prepared during your MEB phase. It explains your medical history, your treatment, your limitations, your prognosis, and how conditions affect your ability to perform your military duties. Then you got your DBQs, which is disability benefits questionnaire, a standardized VA medical form used to document symptoms, diagnosis, and severity of conditions. A CMP examiner may complete one or more DBQs during your examination, right? So when you do your range of motion, that's basically everything that you put. So I think I put like my back, my knee. Of course, my knee was on there. My shoulder. I think that was it for mine. Right? Basically, they're gonna use a goniometer. If they don't use a goniometer, the test is voided. Like you should just stop and do whatever. So I do it. After that, you're gonna get a DA. For us military Army people, you're gonna get a DA 3947, which is MEB proceedings. That's the Army's form containing the MEB findings. It typically lists whether each medical condition meets or fails retention and standards. So basically, you need to get out of the military and the Army. You need to get do not fit to be retained in the military, right? So you got two ways to go about it. If you get 30% or more on the military side, you retire. You medically retire. If you get anything less than 30, you medically separate. I'll do a whole video about the differences and stuff pertaining to Germany and to the States. I'm medically retired, so I get the ID card, I get the benefits. If I go back to the States, unlimited houses, whatever the case might be, state property taxes, all that stuff like that. It's pros and cons to it out here in Germany. The short form is like, just because you retire out here in Germany doesn't mean you're gonna get SOFA, you're gonna get, the PX rights, the commissary rights. That's not how it works. Like you for free. You got to go do a little research and get it. It's super simple. I'll talk about that in the next video. But and then separation is basically like you get a lump sum of a check. You get a separation check, and depending on your percentage, depend on if you pay it back or not, quote unquote. All right. So after that, you'll get your ratings back. When I got mine, I was at 30 on the military side for my knee alone. Just if you want to retire, just read up on the conditions and see what needs to happen to get that 30%, really. And then I was at 80 originally, right? So at that time, it was like I was doing SFL tap or tap, and doing the MEB board at the same time. In my tap, I was learning the VA. I was learning how to do a resume because everything needs to be in civilian like that, stuff like that. Yeah. And the hardest part was not knowing when you was gonna get out, right? Because you have to factor in a lot of things. You got to factor in the lead time that you have, plus you got to project what you're gonna have by the time you get out, right? And I recommend this to everybody. Do not be an idiot like me and sell your leave days. I sold mine. I did mine for a personal reason. My daughter's mom wanted to have a birthday party, and to stay in the house, I needed to stay there longer than what it was. So I ended up selling the leave days to stay longer in the house that we was at to have the birthday party for her to turn 1, all that stuff, right? I don't regret it. Just don't sell your leave days if you don't need to, right? Once I got the ratings and I got the retirement and everything like that, I had, I think, 40 days plus permissive TDY, TDY. Permissive TDY is basically like they give you 10 to 15 days free. The commander has to prove it, but 9 times 10 if you're retiring, medically separating, you get it. It's basically to go look for a house, just free leave, really. One benefit I will say about medically retiring versus medically separating is that when you do your household goods, when you medically retire or retire at all, you can ship your household goods anywhere you want to. When you medically separate, it goes to your home of record, and you got to pay the rest. There is ETPs and all of those stuff. I know people gonna say, "Oh, but I got to do it like this." I'm just telling you about the rules, right? And it might have changed from when I did it to now, right? After that, you do your whole DD-214. It's gonna say PDRL or TDRL. So TDRL is temporary disability retirement list. Temporary medical retirement used with the unfitting conditions not considered medically stable enough for a final disability determination. The member may undergo future reevaluations. You don't want that. You don't want to go back and get reevaluated, right? You don't. You want PDRL. Permanent disability retirement list. Permanent medical retirement. The disability condition and rating are considered sufficiently stable for a permanent disposition. So that means no matter what happens, they cannot call you back in. No matter what. Not no 5 years, not no 10 years. However, you can never join back again. You can't. You can't go to the reserves. Nothing like that if you PDRL. When it gets to the other side, the VA side. The VA and the military side is two different things. You need 30% on the military side to retire, but you got to have a 10 and 20 to get out on the military side. On that VA side, you want the highest rating possible. And if you get to that 100%, which I hope y'all all do, and I will make videos on how to get to 100% or what you need to do or what to look for and how to secondary and add things onto it. If you like this video, you know, drop it in the comments, like it, subscribe, and I'll do some more videos on this because I'm very knowledgeable in this stuff, even after being out since 2022. You want the highest rating ever. That to go from 80, when I got out with 80, I went and did an increase instantly, and I got 80 initially. When I got out of the military, I was at 90. And then after that, I filed for an increase. It stayed the same, which is good. You file for an increase and it stayed the same. That means everything you had was really legit, you know, whatever. A year later, I added on, I got my 100. There's a difference though. And a lot of people are not going to tell you this. There's a difference between 100% VA disability and 100% PNT. 100% VA still means you get the money and you get the highest amount of money that you can get in the VA table. However, 100% PNT, you get is permanent and total. That means they can never go back. I know the whole political world is saying that they can reevaluate you. I've been out for what? Going on 4 years. And I think I got one call. And that was for like sleep apnea and stuff like that. And I will do a video about what I claimed or some of the stuff I claim. I can't talk about all of it. You know, I can't. I had. But yeah, that's really about it. I mean, the MEB program is a long process. Drag it out as much as you can, especially out here in Europe. I know they're getting quicker with it, but like you want to be able to get done with SFL TAP and the transition office and all that stuff, and then do like a career skill bridge, because it's not, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not easy just to walk into a job, especially if you retire. If you retire, you cannot do a GS job for the government for 6 months. Just keep that in mind. And a lot of people out here need the SOFA status to stay out here. I'm fortunate enough to I don't need it. I mean, I would like to have it because there's like a lot of benefits you can have. But however, you're limited on how long you stay out here unless you go into the wage grade or the NAF side or whatever the case might be, right? This was just a little story. I'm gonna put some more content out about the VA. I think I'm gonna go that direction too while I'm still doing my how it is to be American out here in Germany and stuff like that. But I love y'all. Catch y'all in the next one. Peace and love. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the video. Thank you so much.